It's
That's how you got to start it off.
that's why I was laughing. That's why I was smiling before. But anyway, it's
Anyway,
oh man. By the way, that joke goes back to when we were teenagers, right? Oh
oh,
my goodness.
at least 100 years.
Yeah, at least. Anyway, listen, guys. It's the BKBK podcast where sports and the culture collide and the New York Jets reign supreme. I'm your host, Brandon Phillips, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, Brian Taylor,
Pew.
Harry Taylor, and Captain Kyle McKenna. So as most of you know, the Jets lost another one, and another one,
Another one.
and another
Another one.
and they are 0-12.
Oh, and a dozen.
Yes. Most of us Jet fans are happy with that, right? And we are thanking Greg Williams. But it gets us, if you really look at it, it gets us one step closer to that awesome quarterback out of Clemson with the Jamaican last name or first name, Trevor. All right, so
Shaggy.
listen.
Shaggy.
However, this loss just goes to show everyone what bad coaching can do to a player, can do to a game, and can do to a franchise. And this is what I want to start off talking about: the effects of bad coaching. Why coaching is so important. Kyle, I want to start with you. You are a coach. You have been a coach for a while now. You're a respected coach and you're a respected person in this BKBK podcast from a coaching and AD perspective. Can you tell me why you think coaching is so important?
Well, I think we talk week in and week out about all the factors that contribute to either winning or not winning when it comes to the Jets. And there have been times where people have been quick to point at coaches and say, you know, if he was better at this, if he was better at that, then we'd have a better record. And
I'm guilty.
yeah, there are times when it's pained me to defend some of the coaches on the coaching staff for the Jets currently. You know, when I didn't really feel like it, but
Sure.
at times I thought they may have been wrongly put in a box of poor coach because of decisions that they made. But just so that anybody listening who isn't aware of what happened at the end of the game, the situation that we have in coaching, situational coaching is probably 60% of how you win football games.
Sure.
Understanding what the moment is, how to manage the clock, how to deal with things in the moment and the situation. And when we practice football, we do a lot of these things like third downs and special teams and red zone and stuff like that. The situation that we had was we had a lead, a 4-point lead in which the Raiders had to score a touchdown in order to win the game.
Sure.
They were out of field goal range, and there was one play left in the game. And
What was that, 45 yards? Is that
I
were they
think
on like
so.
the 45 or something like that? So with what, 5 or 7 seconds left?
Yep.
they were about 7 yards away from the target line, which says to me that about the 45, because you add 17 to the 45 for how long the field goal would be.
Right.
So they were not in field goal range, and the field goal wouldn't have done anything because they needed the points. But
Right.
Greg Williams, our former defensive coordinator,
And it was considered a 40-yard plus Hail Mary, by the way, according to the stats. So it was an over 40-yard bomb. But back to you, Kyle.
well, to be fair though, they didn't call a Hail Mary. They called
Right.
vertical routes.
Right.
They called a stutter go is what it's called, what Ruggs ran, where he does like at 10 yards, he does like a little stutter in and then keeps going on the go route. And he was able to beat Lamar Jackson, who's the corner on him, for the touchdown. And the reason why was because there was no help over the top. They were playing what's called zero coverage.
Cover
So-
zero, yeah.
If you're going to play zero coverage, that means that no one is playing
No.
in free zone. It's just straight man. So there was no help behind it. And you're usually, if you're in zero coverage, you're going to blitz the 7 that you don't have in coverage. So you either get to the quarterback and you get the sack, or you run the risk of one man not playing up to par or not covering his guy being the thing that leads to a score, which is what happened here. So you had a rookie on a rookie, but Lamar Jackson was an undrafted rookie, and you call cover zero, and I think
and the other rookie ran a 4.27 in the 40. He was the fastest rookie coming out of the draft out of Alabama.
Sure.
First round draft pick versus undrafted free agent.
And the undrafted free agent should have known that this guy. I mean, it was all over the news for how long that he's a speed guy. So you give him that cushion, because the only way he beats you is by getting in the end zone. But again, that's about coaching, like you're saying, Coach.
He also had the benefit of the hex of the Jets, whereas if you mess up earlier in the game, you're going to have a moment in which you redeem yourself. He had a fumble earlier and he had a drop earlier. So, like anytime anybody plays the Jets, you're going to get a chance to redeem yourself.
Or you're going to have a career year too, career day. Yeah. So the tight end
Career
Waller
day,
had 200 yards. We couldn't guard the guy. It was absolutely ridiculous. But, I mean, let's go back to that play, though, again, to discuss it a little bit further. I mean,
hey, Brian, I'm going to let you go, but isn't it funny, like, how people, every single time they play the Jets, are immortalized? So Ruggs will now be known and remembered for this play, okay?
Sure.
And then, on the negative side of your immortalization, Lamar Jackson will be known as the person that gave up this play, and he is now immortalized in a negative way, devalued, okay, as an undrafted rookie free agent, and everyone is seeing him get beat on all of the sports shows and everything. He must be crushed out, and Ruggs must be just elated.
You brought this up in the text thread, and you're absolutely right. And I'll just say this before you say what you're going to say, Brian. Coaching put Lamar Jackson in a position where his development might be stunted now, because he was not put in a good position as a football player.
Well, I would disagree with that statement, Kyle, in that what I do is, in terms of making that evaluation, is what did he do right after? And what he did right after was answer every question in front of, and stood there in front of all of the press and waited for them to finish all of their questions, and said and owned his mistake, right? I should have given him a cushion. I should have understood down and distance, right? And that was my fault. I'm going to learn from this, and I'm going to carry this forward and make sure I don't make the same mistake. But he should have been coached in a way where he didn't have to be put in that position.
Yeah. And I would say that,
and he didn't put anybody under the bus except for himself to say, I'm going to be better as a result. That's why I don't necessarily agree with you in terms of that it's going to carry him and sit with him and affect him negatively. I think he'll use this from a positive standpoint to be better as a result.
Well, I think only time will tell. I think only time will tell for that. But I think, the words don't tell me whether or not he's going to get on the field and think a half a second, during this play and give up cushion. And then all of a sudden the guy comes underneath and, he ends up giving up a first down that leads to a field goal late in the game too. So really mentally, I got to see what he does when he gets back on the field, not necessarily when he's in front of press.
Well, I will say this. He will never be put in a cover zero situation when they're down 6 points and there's a speedy receiver in front of him.
No. I get that. So right. Now, do you overcompensate is my question. So the overcompensation, being on the island, we've both been cornerbacks before, right? So now you give up too much cushion. And now you let somebody catch a first down, as an example. Let's say it's reverse, right? They could kick a field goal to beat us. And they need a first down or they need yardage in order to get that in field goal range. And instead of pressing and being up on the guy, now we give him too much cushion. And next thing you know, we give up that play. But before I go there, because I got the mic now for a second.
Yeah.
I would just you got to play that we basically had 8 people out of the game, you know, as far as coverage is concerned. Because we had 7 people rush, then we had a safety or a linebacker that was kind of in the middle and then rushed late. And there was only 3 people that were, wide receivers that were out in the play.
I think that's because he's covering the running back man to man, and he didn't go out in the route.
Exactly. But again, my thing is Marcus May's reaction as a leader and the safety and part of that play that afterwards had the exact opposite response when he was asked, we needed more help. It wasn't the right call, right? He said the word call like 7 times in front of the media, right? And I think that takes as much courage to say, you know what? Our coaches failed us. And we needed a better call, especially because the play prior, they let somebody get behind them.
Yeah.
The exact play, the exact prior play, they let a wide receiver get behind them. What do? You call timeout. You say, fellas, we got this game, man, but you can't do that again. So let's put a call in place to make sure it doesn't happen. How many times do we see the Hail Mary? And this wasn't Hail Mary, get it, Kyle, but it was a Hail Mary situation because it's the last play of the game. Like you either touchdown here or it's over. You have no timeouts. Their back is against the wall. And we gave them the only opportunity possible in order to win that game, right? The call had to be as bad as possible. You know, the player had to make as bad a play as possible, read on it. Why are you going with a hitch and go? Who cares? There's 5 seconds left. They can't, you know what I mean? So coaching, and again, coaching. Yeah. I don't even blame the player. You call your players in. You call timeout 2 in a row if you need to. Do you understand it? Do you understand what's happening and what we need to do? Because you almost messed it up on the last play.
I'm laughing for a reason, but I'm gonna let Coach McKenna, speak his piece.
Go ahead, man. I'm done with my rant for now, man. This is just absolutely absurd.
I think that Boomer Esiason even said the call was so bad that I don't know. Is he trying to tank on purpose?
Right.
Did he get the word in his headset? Tank this game now. I don't know, but I think to what Marcus May's reaction as compared to Lamar Jackson's, I think that if you have a good culture in your locker room, if you have a non-toxic culture, I think that Marcus May doesn't throw Greg Williams under the bus.
Sure.
And they have a relationship in which they, after the game, they talk about, hey, coach, this was not the right call, and they have some sort of relationship that has them communicate with each other and says, what can we do better next time? But that's not the situation.
It is not
in the coaching staff with the Jets right now. It's a toxic relationship. Unfortunately, it seems like it's been a toxic relationship from the beginning. So this is where you have players, and they speak through these press conferences. It's in riddles and innuendo. And just like you said the other day, like right after the thing, like he kept saying in the press conference, we needed a better call. We needed more help on that. We needed to be in a better position. And I think it's innuendo that we need somebody different here pronto because this isn't working. And I didn't see anyone back Greg Williams' call on that. The data doesn't back it.
How could you? Exactly.
Yeah, the data doesn't back it. The none of the ESPN or NFL Network or whatever prognosticators, nobody is coming out and saying, well, maybe the only thing you hear is, well, this is Greg Williams being Greg Williams. Well, Greg Williams being Greg Williams was 0-16 in Cleveland, and now it would have been 0-16 probably here if he had kept the job. So I mean, that's not a good resume.
It's not a good resume at all. And I was told that basically he has a good defense once every 5 years. So that's not good enough. That's not enough consistency to have you be an effective defensive coordinator. You don't hear those numbers coming out of Bill Belichick's defenses. You don't hear those numbers coming out of the Pittsburgh defense with forget his name. Oh my gosh. the head coach there. He's more of a defensive coach.
Tomlin,
Yeah. I never heard that coming out of any of Rex Ryan's defenses. So there has to be consistency. The same for defense as well as offense. He has never had that. So to me, he's a hack. And I think Adam Gase is a hack too. And if Adam Gase was a better leader of men, and you're not just leading the players, you're leading your coaching staff as well, this would not have happened. He would have been paying attention more. He would have heard the call on his headset.
He did hear the call.
Huh?
He did hear the call.
He did hear the call. He did. He said.
Okay. Well, then he would have heard it and then said, what? No, timeout. Chastised his defensive coordinator and said, no, you better get those guys back. And just to go, back to what you were saying before, Brian, another reason why we needed to call the correct call, because the play before that you were talking about, we weren't, and I'm not saying that you said this, we weren't in just straight up man coverage.
No.
We just got straight up beat. And it was man coverage, it was man zone, and the safety came over, he got beat, and the guy that was playing man on that receiver got beat too. It was just that it was overthrown by Carr. So
you can play man coverage. You can play man coverage there. You don't send the house.
Right. That's fine. But you also
there's versions of man. You can play man under too deep.
Right.
Yeah.
Safety's up top, but you're gonna rush 3. Exactly. You're not gonna rush 7.
Right.
So it's playing craps.
Yeah.
It's a dice roll.
And you do that with the last play of the game.
DBs.
I mean, honestly, people hate the term prevent defense. I would have prevented the whole thing out of that thing, man. Forget it. I would have played prevent defense, vanilla prevent, and tackle that dude at the 1-yard line, and then we win the game. But
I just want to say this. I mean, we're being real judgmental about pro sports. That's what we do on this show.
Yes.
So, but with all due respect, Greg Williams, and I would not go so far as to call him a hack. He's a professional football coach.
Okay.
That coaches football on the highest level.
That's
and fair. I feel like calling him a hack. Like, I have the same exact feeling as you do. But when I take a step back and say, okay, he failed here and he got fired, and that's the consequence of failure sometimes.
Well,
in professional sports.
Kyle, that is a fair point, and I'm going to take it back. I just think that he is not as good as some of the other guys, or a lot of the other guys in the league. Is he a hack? I'm going to take it back. No, he's not. But yes, he did.
You're just going to take it back on Greg Williams, but not Adam Gase, right?
I don't think Adam Gase is a hack. I just think
I'm only kidding. It was
terrible.
Nice space.
Terrible head coach. Well, you know what? I think he's a terrible coach. But you know what? He would probably do a better job than me right now. Give me 2 years, and then I can surpass Adam Gase.
Well, I mean, let's talk about that Gase and Greg Williams dynamic for a second. In that, Gase was the one that fired Greg Williams, right? First of all, no. He said so.
Okay.
He said so. He said that was my call.
He did say it in the press conference.
Exactly. So that was my call. So there's a couple of things that you can kind of read into that. First and foremost, you should have fired yourself too, because if you're listening to the call and you didn't say anything, why was it Greg Williams' fault 100% when you were the one that basically blessed it by saying nothing?
Let me pause you on that. Let me pause you on that and say and say this: if he had the power to fire himself, he'd have done it a long time ago. Especially when you admit to saying you haven't developed Darnold as well as you should have. The minute that you made that admission,
sure,
you should have just handed in your paperwork right then.
Right, and then you followed up your redemption campaign by doing this,
right?
By being part of that.
And what I would also say is that he didn't admit to having unilateral authority to fire Greg Williams. He just said it was he made the decision. Now we don't know if he had to have it cleared by Douglas.
That's what I was going to say.
So you can say I think we should fire him, and then Douglas say, well, you know what, it's my decision. Okay, I'll go along with what you say. again, which we've had the discussion off camera that what is the structure? This structure is dysfunctional as far as the hierarchy.
It's terrible.
And again, like what I said earlier is that it highlights the entire structure of the organization in that it doesn't work. It hasn't been working. It needs to be changed. And that starts from the bottom down. I mean, from the top down.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So,
not...
Greg Williams was here or hired technically before Gase was. So that was part of the marriage and part of the, Gase getting the job is that Greg Williams has to be your defensive coordinator. But listen, you could quit at any point in time and say, I suck. I mean, I don't. So if Gase wants to fire himself at any point in time, he can walk away from the job. Now you got to walk away from the money.
The difference is if he quits, he's not getting paid.
Of course,
if he's fired, he is.
Of course.
I think the money is the key thing here. I don't think that the Jets want to pay him if he's not coaching,
right? Because they have to pay somebody else
and give up the money.
Yeah.
So the money is in the middle of all of this. I think at the end of the season, if people take control of their organization, I mean, if I own this team, if any one of us own this team, we would not be deferring to all these other people on what and it's not like deferring the decision. It's deferring who makes the decision. Like every corporation, every organization has a top-down structure in some way, even the ones that are very unilaterally communicative, where everybody has a say and everything like that.
Yeah.
Even those structures have a leader, somebody who leads their room, somebody who does that. So where is that? And I really have big time questions about what the organizational role of our general manager is beyond scouting pro and college personnel, signing them and creating a roster.
And free agency. Yeah.
And free agency. But scouting pro personnel, scouting college personnel.
But you know what, Kyle?
I haven't seen him do anything else.
You know what? The one thing that can act as a catalyst to make this change is an 0-16 record, because now you are negatively part of history. And no organization wants to be a part of that disgusting history that the Detroit Lions own, that the Cleveland Browns own, and that the New York Jets will most probably own, being an 0-16 disgusting franchise in a disgusting season. That will help reset the button. Is it something that will happen? We don't know, but I think that is something that will potentially act as a catalyst to basically do that. And I'm really hoping, this just makes me hope even more that we are 0-16, because something's got to give. Something's got to change, like what Kerry's saying. And hopefully with this, it'll start from the top down. Who wants to be ridiculed like this? You own the Jets. If I own the Jets and I'm 0-16, oh my goodness. Man, first of all, you guys would be on my case. All right. Steady on my case. You know what I mean? Like, steady on my case. I would just act like, sorry guys, I can't hang out. I'm not feeling that well. I'd be hanging up on people when they call me, not answering texts.
Your voice mailbox is full and cannot accept any more.
It can't accept anything. You know what I mean? All of that stuff. So
Brandon, that speaks to: are you a fan of the game as an owner? Do you have pride in what your organization represents? Or is this just an investment to you? Is this just a toy? You know what I mean? Are you just going to do something else, like be, an ambassador to another nation, as a side piece, side hustle? You know what I'm saying? So this may not be as important to him as it is to us as fans.
I mean, listen, when you reach that billionaire status, you're going to have different avenues of income. Like, look at Kraft, look at, the Hunt family. Look at, Rooney, a lot of these owners have other things going on, but you have to make a deliberate effort to focus in on your team to be a better owner. So he can still be an ambassador to the UK and still be a credible owner. He's not, he should have put someone better in instead of his brother in his stead. You know what I'm saying? So
that's the point. That's the point that I'm making. You're not taking it seriously enough. You're not taking it as seriously as you should. And that's the point that I'm making. But look, you know what? What I also want to say is this to our listening audience. We're being hypocritical because we're glad we lost, right? You know what I'm saying? So we were sitting there. If you could look at the text chain, if this entire audience can look at the text chain and see what we were saying towards the end of the game when there were just seconds left, is we're gonna be so Jetsian and we're gonna win this game and we're gonna miss out on our first round pick, our number one pick.
So
and I'm like, wait a
minute.
I'm on a delay when I'm watching it. So all you guys were commenting on stuff that already happened that I hadn't seen yet.
Shut up, Brian.
No. Wait just a minute here. Wait a minute here.
Is there a mute button?
I was listen, like 4 weeks ago, I was on the bus by myself and being ridiculed by these clowns talking about, we don't want to. Yes, you are. And Brandon, you're a little less of a clown because you owned it. Because at least you came over and owned it like a couple of weeks ago and said, I am officially on this side of the fence. And then these other people are talking about, we didn't want them to win either. Blah, blah, blah. You are looped in. You are absolutely looped in. Did you or did you not want the Jets to lose last Sunday?
I had a big sigh of relief when they lost.
Oh, get out of town, man. What is it like? Do the right thing, right?
What I'll say is that I was more focused on the Jacksonville game, hoping that they would win.
Listen.
When I noticed that we had a chance to win.
Good answer. It's like Family Feud. Good answer.
Please.
Listen, before we move on to the next topic, I just want to Band-Aids and baby powder are going to continue to sell whether Chris and Woody Johnson try hard or not in that industry. They're all set. They can concentrate fully on the Jets and let the Band-Aids and the baby powder sell themselves. You don't even have to have a commercial on TV for the products that they sell. So, concentrate on the Jets if you're going to own this team. Second thing is, if Lamar Jackson has anything going for him here, Aaron Glenn was the guy that got caught on the fake spike by Dan Marino, which is probably the worst loss before this one. And he went on to have a great career.
And he's having a good coaching career too. I think
he's right.
He's the DB coach of the Saints. I think he's the DB coach of the Saints, I believe, and their defensive backfield is ridiculous this year.
And his name is heating up for head coaching jobs too.
Really?
He's not gonna get it. I think he needs a little bit more time, but
I think he does too. But just to be mentioned is good enough for me.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And listen, let's remember this, guys. Let's go back now. We're not happy with the Johnsons, but we also were not happy with Leon Hess and Leon Hess. I used to get those Hess trucks all the time. He was
the Hess trucks back and it's better than ever.
he was in the oil business, and you know what? He was not a good owner as well. So it's a dice roll when you get that far up top, So
I went out of my way when I was getting gas to go to a Hess station, just so that I could buy gas from Hess.
Bro, I used to get Hess trucks for Christmas every year.
My grandfather got me a Hess truck every year.
Yeah, and then some of them had like the jet planes on the back and this and that. It was crazy.
The lights lit up. You put the battery.
I worked on the Hess Jets Christmas commercial when I was still PAing.
What are they talking about here?
Anyway, whatever.
I don't know, Brian. We'll let him finish.
Yeah. Brian, you were just singing the Hess song. What are you talking about?
Hey, listen, you two, get a room. You and your little Hess trucks and stuff like that, all right?
Yeah. As long as you sing that melody to me, B. Here we go. All right. So, hey, let's move on, all right? So we've unpacked, that was for you, Brian. We've unpacked the importance of coaching or lack thereof, et cetera, and then we even brought it all the way up to ownership. But the next thing that I want to get into is we are now looking at the Jets playing each week. They're playing the Seattle Seahawks tomorrow, okay? And from my standpoint, and you guys can, fill in, from my standpoint, I'm not looking for a win. I'm not. I want us to go 0-16, okay? But what I'm looking forward to is the continued evaluation. And from my standpoint, as a former lineman in high school and in college, the foundation starts outside of the quarterback position. The foundation for a team starts with the offensive line and the defensive line. And I think that we have two foundational pieces in those respective positions. We have a left tackle in Mekhi Becton, and we have an interior defensive tackle in Quinnen Williams. They're both having great seasons. They both may make the Pro Bowl, and I think that these are great foundational pieces. So I'm going to continue to observe them and then see where and how we can build around them according to their level of play, et cetera, et cetera. What do you guys have to say about that? You know, you guys may have different opinions. Maybe you guys think it should be an edge rusher and a center or whatever. But now, just remember what I said. I said outside of the quarterback, all right? I think the quarterback is primo, number one. But take it away, fellas.
But what was your question? Your question was who's most important in terms of development that's on the team right now?
Well, basically, to build a foundation, what do you guys think is the most important? Me as a former lineman, I think it starts with the offensive and defensive line. You guys may say a cornerback, a shutdown corner, an edge, a wide receiver. You know, I just want to get different perspectives. Because you guys didn't play line. You guys were receivers and DBs. Kyle played tight end. He played linebacker. You know,
I played offensive guard too.
I know. I was just about to say that, and you played O-line as well. So I just want to hear different perspectives as well.
Well, I think we know that it's the quarterback. The quarterback is the most foundational. The quarterback is the most foundationally important position in all sports. As a matter of fact,
I said that.
But besides that, if we put that aside and we look at the other positions, I would say left tackle on the offensive side of the ball, and I would say cornerback on the defensive side of the ball. But when I look at our team as currently constructed, the two most important individuals right now, I believe, to watch in terms of continuing their development are the two that you mentioned, Quinnen Williams and
Mekhi
Becton. And I want what I want to see the development continue of is, and what I focus on, like you said, in these games to come, are Fadakasi at defensive line, who is on the rise. This guy is a run stopper,
sure.
And when you couple him with Quinnen Williams, who seems to me has the ability to rush a passer and defend the run, right? With the addition of my focus on watching Mims develop, which we won't have the opportunity to do this week because he's at home, and Bryce Hall. Ashton Davis would have been somebody else that I was focusing on, but he's out for the year. But I really have the last 2 to 3 games that Bryce Hall has been starting and getting significant playing time. Every time he's on the field, he is the specific individual that I'm looking at on the defensive side of the ball. Number
37. Yep.
Yeah.
You like that number carry on him?
I don't. But I'm not a big numbers guy.
I'm a big.
It's like he's 37, and the defensive back who we were mentioning earlier, who got beat, he's 38.
Oh yeah, 38. Yeah, I don't like that number 38 at all. Makes him
no.
Yeah.
39 might be the worst number in football.
Oh my gosh.
64 is the worst number in football.
Right. We digress. But those are the individuals who I really, really look at. And again, like you said, focusing on Mekhi, making sure that he's on the field consistently and doesn't have these nicks and little abrasions that put him on the sideline for 2 or 3 plays a game. And again, looking at what Quinnen Williams doing, he's becoming a dominant force. I hope both of these guys make the Pro Bowl. And again, it's really academic. Nobody cares. It's really about, it's a popularity contest. But Mekhi is on the list, and I believe Quinnen will be as well.
I mean, for me, we have to evaluate the entire roster. So we have to see who we're gonna keep and who's worth keeping for next year, and who we're gonna have to replace and go into free agency trying to plug holes, and the same thing for the draft. So I'm not gonna re-mention the folks that you guys have, because of course those are some of our draft picks that we want to make sure that we continue to develop. Outside of Mims, I'll kind of repeat that because we need to as far as weapons are concerned, make sure that Trevor has somebody to throw to that he can grow with. But I'll say this. I'll say I'm interested in Elfline, right? Because since he's come into that left guard role from the Vikings, it's looked pretty good. That tandem over there has looked pretty consistent. And I think it's been an improvement on Alex Lewis.
Yes.
It's been an improvement, right? So yes. I think that's
his first game wasn't that great, but his second one was much better from what I've read. And I think it's just him coming into a new environment, new situation, absorbing the playbook and absorbing, his teammates around him playing that position. But
I think it was the first game he started, though, right?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so
I believe so.
He looked good. I think that was the second game actually, because I think Alex Lewis had an issue.
Right, because Alex Lewis was out 2 weeks, right?
Yeah,
and I think
it was 2 weeks.
In place of Alex Lewis for both weeks.
Yeah, and I would say Perriman is somebody that you want to continue to see his development, although he is a veteran and has been in the league for a while. Can he stay on the field for the last 4 games and give us some consistent production? And really, huh?
Is he signed for next year?
No.
I don't care.
No. I mean, I care because, again, if we're trying to evaluate the roster, then we got to evaluate our starting wide receiver.
So then what about Crowder, B? Should we bring him back? Because there's some talk about maybe if we should or shouldn't bring Crowder back. He's been nothing but productive. I just want to hear your opinion on it.
Yeah, I bring him back. Why not bring back somebody that's going to be productive? Who are you going to replace him with? That's another hole in the slot. So if you're talking about Trevor Lawrence and you feel like he's going to be a major upgrade from the quarterback position, and then be able to look at the wide receivers that we currently have, make them look better. Make them better. Be a point guard out there, making, the folks look better, whatever, sending them assists, dropping dimes all over the place. Then, he might be a 1,000-yard receiver next year. Perriman might be a 1,000-yard receiver next year if he can stay healthy. Mims definitely should be a 1,000-yard receiver with 80 catches or whatever the case may be. But
3 1,000-yard receivers on the same team. Let's go.
Why not? Why not? If you have the quarterback that can do that, and they all stay healthy and can wing it all around, I think those folks are talented. Now, I think you still draft a wide receiver, right? Especially if you can bring in somebody that's even more talented, because if one of those dudes goes down, who the heck is on the bench? Nobody, right? So I think Perriman, you re-sign, as far as my perspective is concerned. You let him fight it out with whoever you draft. That's kind of my perspective. But to me, you're evaluating the entire roster from your punter to your place kicker to everybody, and you're trying to see who you need to replace next year, because we have a lot of work to do as far as our roster is concerned. I think Douglas did a pretty good job, at least in the draft. He has to totally revamp what he does in free agency, because I don't know who he actually hit on besides maybe Perriman. That you'll give him that. That's about it on the roster.
His center, no good. Van Roten out of Rockville Center, no good in my eyes.
Right. McGovern hasn't been great.
Who?
McGovern.
Yeah, McGovern. Yeah,
Fans is average.
It's just he just hasn't done as a bang up job that I expected it to be. I think he kind of went light on it. So we'll see what he does. We're second place as far as our cap room is concerned, and with the cap going down because of the COVID and this and that, and not as much revenue being generated, we're in a good place. So we're going to see some people get cut in the offseason that one wouldn't necessarily expect to get cut because of the down revenue. So we should be like this, ready to kind of spend some money over here. We're in better position. I want to go to who else I'm looking at. Marcus May. I loved what he did as a team leader that Brian kept on focusing on in basically calling out the coach before the coach was even fired and saying that was a bad play. Marcus May is having a good season. I think PFF has him as the 4th rated safety in the league right now.
Yep.
Also now he's showing me leadership. He's showing me strength. Let's re-sign this man.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And let's build around him. Let's build around Quinnen Williams. You know who else is having a good year? Who I was never really that much of a fan on, but then I really watched his game, and Kyle can speak on this. Neville Hewitt. Last year he had to step in for injury, performed well. This year I think he's performing well. That boy likes to hit too. You know?
He's all over the place, man.
He's all over the map.
He is. And
Lange is all over the map too. I think we re-sign him, but at a minimum, or maybe give him $1 million. But I want to see what's up with Mosley. A lot of money for an inside linebacker who's played maybe 2 games for us in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So
not a lot of tread on those tires. Not a lot of tread on those tires.
Not a lot of tread on those tires. I think he's going to be 29 next year. If it's honestly, I don't mind getting rid of him if it's not too huge of a cap hit. Like, I'm kind of borderline over him because I'm like, I don't know. I just don't know.
Let me pick it up. Let me pick it up there, Brandon. So the Belichick theory of building a team is consistent with what Brandon's saying. So you build in the middle. And it's a Parcells Belichick model. You have a safety, a good linebacker, good interior defensive lineman, the offensive line on the other side, the quarterback, and then you build from there. So I think that if you look at like the Patriots and all the success that they've had, many years they've had mediocre to above average receivers. They have not drafted corners high, but they've drafted well with corners. So, I mean, the name of the game when you think of building a team, and this goes back to Kerry's old cheap labor theory, is that you want to get the best players in the positions you need them to be in for the least amount of money that you have to pay them. And you're going to spend where you need to spend. Like even a Mekhi Becton, eventually you're going to have to spend on him, but you're not spending on him right now. He's at a sliding scale rookie contract. Whoever you draft at quarterback, whether it's Darnold in his early years or Trevor Lawrence in the early years, not totally expensive. But you pay for a CJ Mosley and you extend a Marcus May because they're the foundational building blocks. But like when you talk about Williams, Becton, and whoever the quarterback is going to be, they'll all be at below market price and allow you to build in other places. So I think that the receivers that we have right now, the starting receivers, if healthy, Crowder, Perriman, and Mims, with consistent play from the quarterback, I think that if you look at the targets versus production, and this is kind of a Brian thing, he always kind of brings that in, and you probably can't pull it up now, but maybe later. You look at their targets versus their production, I think it's pretty high. There was a stat that Brian threw out there about Mims a couple weeks ago where he didn't have as much reps as the other people on the list, but he was high up there on the list. So I think those guys with that middle solidified and that foundation built will thrive. The thing about Crowder, though, and the possibility of moving Crowder, he's a slot receiver. So we never really line him up on the outside. I don't know what another coach will do with him, but you might be able to get value in moving him somewhere else to somebody else who wants to really complement 2 other people with him, rather than him being the number 1 receiver, because he wasn't the number 1 receiver in Washington before he came.
Well, he was. He was. He was
kind of forced to because they had nothing else. Kind of like the same way with the Jets.
And he may be forced to do that again since we have a rookie coming. In theory, a rookie quarterback coming in to kind of get used to the league and get used to the speed of the game to make him feel comfortable. What do you think?
I feel like Braxton Berrios' roster spot will belong to somebody else next year. Sure. I think the only reason Braxton Berrios is still on the roster is because Case is the coach. He doesn't bring much offensively. As much as I've wanted him to, doesn't really bring much offensively. So you have another roster spot to fill there, in my opinion. You need to start over with tight ends.
Sure.
That you might draft 2 tight ends in this draft with all the draft picks.
Funny how we came into the season thinking that was our strength.
You know what?
The tight end.
I don't even know. I mean, you got Ryan Griffin there. You got Westco. I think you get rid of the guy at the top. I forgot his name off the top of my head.
Herndon.
Yeah, Herndon. You kind of cut bait with him.
Kerry's guy.
Yeah,
Kerry's guy.
He loved him.
Kerry's guy.
So
Kerry's guy.
I just want to make a couple of comments, Mr. Kerry's guy. So I did kind of get on. Oh, get some feedback here.
You gotta fix that with editing.
Yeah, yeah, something.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So yeah, still getting a lot of feedback here. But anyway, so I'll keep going. So the Patriots didn't draft very well. I saw a list of wide receivers that they've drafted over the last hour.
Berrios was on that list.
Yeah, horrendous drafters, right? What I like about them is that they scout from a free agency perspective within their own division. So there are people that they,
and UDFAs.
Yeah, exactly. So they see people twice a year. They say, you know what, I like that. I like those people. I'm gonna, give them money. Wes Welker was an example. Was he with Miami? Big example there. The cornerback that they have right now, who's all pro, came from Buffalo.
The running back that we let go.
Sure, exactly. Burkhead. So they had a lot of folks in that space. Now, what I would say about Douglas so far, that I like, again, I'd rather be a better drafter than, develop free agents, because that's how you build your team, is through the draft. So if he's not as good with the free agency piece, but he nails his draft picks, I'll be okay with that. I think over time with the free agency piece, he'll get better. And I think the strategy he had right now was to not have long-term commitments to the people he gave money to, so we could get out of all of those deals on the offensive line that he gave money to, right? Because they're all basically one-year deals, nothing guaranteed in year 2 or very little. So you don't give that to somebody you feel like is, oh my God, he's going to be a Pro Bowler next year or an All-Pro. It's just, you know what? I think he can be serviceable, and I think we could put together a pretty decent offensive line with those folks. So I think he'll get better at that.
Patriots drafted a 6th-round tackle that's the second best rookie in the AFC. I don't remember what his name is, but he starts at tackle for the Patriots, and he's doing really well.
Is it Win?
1 out of 500, I guess. They've had a lot of draft picks over the years.
They always draft high though, too. So they I think they take more chances in the draft than other people do. They have more house money to play with when it comes to
trading back.
Yeah, always trading back.
And to your point about Douglas and his not so stellar free agency signing, as opposed to what he did in this draft. And again, we're only evaluating him for 1 year. We had a guy that did better with free agency than he did in the draft, and it didn't help us, and that was McCagnon. So
did he do well with free agency?
I think he did better with free agency than he did in the draft.
Well, I mean, because you couldn't get any worse than what he did with the draft, too.
I'm just making a point. Don't kill a messenger.
I mean, man, he was horrendous with the draft. So, outside of the first-round pick, right, which takes, 0 talent. So if you're drafting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you should get somebody that's pretty talented at that level, right? It's not that hard. When you're talking about 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th round, you're talking about something you got to scout. You got to figure out, can these people be good? You got to work them out and interviews and whatever else, and you got to pick the right dude. And he just never did that.
Kerry,
Yeah, but with
Kerry was basically saying, like, he gets his free agency was a D and his drafting was an F for McCaffrey. So still not good no matter where you look. But fellas,
well, I mean, also when you're drafting that high, you got to be able to like really know what you want and what you need. And Pat Mahomes was what we needed, and he couldn't see that, and he'll forever be tarnished in my eyes for that.
Tarnished
Jamal
period,
Adams,
but sure.
the guy that got him anyway. That guy that we got anyway was I've been tweaking people all week, because for those of you who don't know, I live in Seattle, and there's a lot of Seattle Seahawks fans around me at all times. They have Blue Friday. They all dress up in Seahawks gear on Friday. It's kind of like a college town in that way, between UW and Seattle. And I've been saying to people, yo, you guys got a good new DN, this guy, Jamal Adams. And I will say, from a fan perspective, there's more than a few people a little bit tweaked about what they have. Like they're super positive Seattle Seahawks fans all the time.
Sure.
They'll be like, oh, it was totally worth the draft picks, because we're going on a Super Bowl run. And we're going to do this. So, you have to make some sacrifices sometimes. And, I said, he can't cover Evan Ingram.
No.
Like he can't cover a tight end.
No.
Evan Ingram runs a 4.38. Evan Ingram does run a 4.38.
He has the worst coverage of any safety in the NFL.
He's not
He's a great pass rusher because he rushes the passer from weird angles and schemed up, and he does one thing really well.
And he's good in the run. I would definitely admit that he's good in the run.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't want my safety leading the team in tackles. No, I don't want my safety leading the team in sacks.
Right. And to your point, I don't know who made the point about Marcus May and playing very well.
I did.
The time frame where he didn't play as well is when Greg Williams changed him to strong safety, right, and tried to put him in that role of Adams, and it wasn't working for him because that's not who he is.
Right.
And as a result, switched him back, and now Ashton Davis, who's currently hurt, has been playing very well in that role.
Coaching matters. Coaching matters, all right? And that's the premise of this entire episode 317 of the BKBK podcast. All right, we're going to wind things up while winding things down. We're going to move on to our next act quickly. We're going to talk about our predictions. The Jets are playing the Seattle Seahawks at home. Seahawks are traveling 3,000 miles to come to the Meadowlands to play us, but we ain't got nothing for them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing for you, man. You want $6 for what?
What?
Remember that kind?
Of course.
So listen, since I started that off, let me go ahead with my prediction, all right? It's the Jets versus the Seahawks. Here's my prediction. Basically, Russell Wilson is a given, and the Jets have no answers whatsoever for DK Metcalf. This guy's a beast. He reminds me of Julio Jones mixed in with Megatron.
Me and Julio down by the schoolyard.
No mercy. My prediction is that the Seahawks beat the Jets 33-17, but the way they beat them up makes it look like it should have been 45-8.
Wow.
Who wants that?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jets win 2017.
Oh, you have no respect for the Seahawks defense, huh? I mean, they're not that good this year, but
they're terrible. They don't. I mean, they have some good players on their defense, but they don't play defense enough to allow somebody like Russell Wilson, to be as great as he can possibly be. And their O-line we basically swap players with them, like Shell for Fant. And somebody brought up, said, Fant was like average before. He's an upgrade over Shell.
Yeah.
He is.
And so as a, no matter what we paid for him, I think that he's a better right tackle than we had before. So when we talk about our O line, Fant and Becton upgrade. The middle is what we really need to work on at this point. But but I think that between the O line of Seattle and their defense, I think that what I've seen because I watch every game, I've seen like since they were on their winning streak, the inconsistent play has come from a lot of pressure on Russell Wilson.
Yep.
And I think that we have the guys to put pressure on Russell Wilson. I think Fatukasi and Quinnen Williams are going to be up in his grill all day. I think that my guy Bryce Huff, rookie UDFA, another guy that I want to keep around on this team. I think he's a good pass rusher. I think that they're going to be up in his grill, and I think that's the formula right now. To run the ball on the Seahawks D, chew up clock, and pressure Russell Wilson. What the Seahawks have: 3 great receivers and tight end, and they have a great quarterback. And when Chris Carson is healthy, they're pretty good running back too. But they're all
get some good rushing because Jenkins is not playing today. Maybe Terrell Basham or something like that, just to add.
I like Terrell Basham too. I think Terrell Basham is a keeper as well. I'm gonna go against the grain and say Jets 20, Seahawks 17, just because I've been further tweaking people around here saying, what would it be? What would go on here if you lost to the 2 New York teams 2 weeks in a row?
All right, we're going to move on from you because you're now tweaking the show. So
funny.
because we need to be 0-16.
Very,
all right? So
very wordsy.
All
right, so I'm gonna go next. So I'm gonna say 23-17 Seattle, and I think the game is gonna be close. I think our guy's gonna be fired up because Jamal Adams is on the other side, and I think Jamal's gonna be fired up too, and he's gonna make some mistakes that we're gonna lead probably late into the third quarter, but it's gonna slip away, and I think they kick a couple field goals and they end up winning the game. I do think that we match up well where they have some inconsistencies with, like Kyle mentioned, the pass rush and stuff like that against Russell Wilson. Russell's the reason why I'm not in the fantasy football playoffs in one of my leagues, because this dude was phenomenal in the first part of the year. Then all of a sudden, can't do much. But I don't think we have the secondary that the Giants have in order to keep the wide receivers where we need to keep them. But 23-17, another loss, another step closer to Trev Law.
I mean, I don't think we have the pass rush that the Giants have either, even though it's gotten better through our interior. But overall, I don't think we have the pass rush that the Giants have.
I think we match up well because it's from the line. I think it's it's not like they have the outside linebackers that are rushing and hitting them. It's the linemen, and I think that's where they struggle, the interior, and then they get the sacks because of that. So.
Gotcha. All right, Kerry, let's wrap this one up.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm with Brian. I'm going to predict the same. I normally don't predict a score, but I'm going to predict the same thing. I think we're going to end up winning. I think we're going to end up losing, but, show pretty fairly. It's that interior line, the defensive line, that I think we're going to have a good day with regard to defensive rushing. I think John Franklin Myers is going to have a good game. Along with the other 2 that I mentioned, Fatukasi and Quinnen Williams. I think our secondary pales in comparison to the Giants' secondary, but I think we will be able to establish a running game similar to the way that the Giants did. And it'll be a lower scoring game than the game that we had against the Raiders. But will ultimately win the game for them is their coaching and their quarterback play. And we won't have either.
Tell you what.
Quick question. Who's a better safety, Jabril Peppers or Marcus May?
My opinion is Marcus May.
Marcus May.
I think Marcus May right now.
Yeah, well, our corners are not as good as the corners of the Giants.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And we're missing Ashton Davis. So, again, I think Ashton Davis was developing well and contributing significantly, and now he's out. So we're back to McDougal and I forgot.
I think it's Farley. I think they're going to start Farley instead of
McDougal.
Yep.
By the way,
you're down on McDougal.
Your
right.
Player, Bless Austin comes. I think he comes back. So he and Hall may be at the corners, if they decide to not have Lamar Jackson start on the other side. So we'll see what happens. Mims is out. Jordan Jenkins is out.
Yep.
Ashton Davis is out.
Who else?
Ashton Davis is out.
Ashton Davis is out.
What's wrong with Mims?
Van Roten is out.
Personal reasons. He has a family issue.
Yeah.
Okay, but he's not hurt.
No.
Yeah.
So guys, we'll see what happens here. All right. We'll see what happens here. We'll be texting tomorrow while we're watching the game and everything. But hey, guys, that's our show. Okay. Basically, it's the BKBK podcast. We love doing this, and we just thank you guys for watching another episode of the show. We want to be able to keep bringing you the latest news and viewpoints of where sports and the culture collide and the New York Jets reign supreme. Please keep watching us. You can find us on Facebook on our BKBK podcast fan page, on Twitter at the BKBK podcast, Instagram at BKBK podcast as well, and on YouTube. All right, find us on YouTube. Type in BKBK podcast. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button and all that. Share us all over the place. And, be prepared to fall in love with us because we come at you guys real. And you don't get no realer than this. All right?
Rest in peace, Tiny Lister.
And then if you want to...
That's right, Debo.
Word. Yeah, R.I.P. Debo,
That's my bike.
Yeah, man. If you want to...
my Jets Huffy.
What was
my
that?
Jets Huffy, Brandon.
Yeah. If you guys want to listen to us on the podcast and you're driving in your car or whatever, just go to bkbkpodcast.podomatic.com. All right, you can listen to us there on iTunes. All right, so that's it, guys and girls. Let's go BKBK podcast. Let's go 0-16 New York Jets. Let's go Baldwin football. Hopefully in the spring you guys have a full football season. I just spoke to Coach Carroll yesterday via text. I'm trying to get a Baldwin football hoodie and sweatpants, but since nothing's going on, there's nothing to sell me. You know what I mean? So anyway, whatever. Hey, guys and girls, we love you out there. And that's a wrap for the show.
That's right. Let's go.